And in Nigeria, Information Minister describes Lekki massacre report as tales by moonlight. With us here to translate the news into sign language is Jonathan Intim Dako. President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday received letters of credence from 7 ambassadors designate to Ghana.
The common message to the diplomats was Accra's commitment to strengthen bilateral economic and trade cooperation with the counterparts for mutual benefit.
The first to present their diplomatic credentials was Israel's ambassador to Ghana, Madame Shlomit Sufa. Even though Accra and Tel Aviv's diplomatic relations spanned 6 decades, relations between the two were interrupted for 30 years. But this has been restored in the last 10 years, with some strong bilateral relations on all fronts, especially in agriculture. Ambassador Sufa tenure will focus on development of fintech, cybersecurity, innovation, agriculture, water, digital health, communication technology, and homeland security. President Akufo-Addo said Ghana and Israel will cooperate on all fronts to better the lives of Ghanaians. On the Israeli-Palestinian issue, Nana Akufo-Addo said Ghana supports the two-state agenda for the peace of the region.
We are happy to support Ghana on its path to Ghana beyond aid, both in terms of development and in terms of economic relations. We are also very happy to have the program for agricultural trainees, what we refer to as agro-studies.
In agriculture, the efforts that you're making to get us to get the benefit of the great agricultural revolution that you led in Israel, that has made Israel famous for its development, people who were able to make the desert fruitful and productive.
Mrs. Annette Garcia is Cuba's ambassador to Ghana. Ghana was the first sub-Saharan Africa country to establish diplomatic relations with Cuba in 1959. Mrs. Garcia said Cuba is ready to complete a biolarvicide factory in Ghana. Apart from the production of biolarvicides against malaria, the factory will also produce biofertilizer to boost agricultural productivity and create jobs. President Akufo-Addo said Ghana acknowledges Cuba as a worthy partner, especially in the health sector, and bilateral relations with the country will focus on that sector. On the biolarvicide factory, President Akufo-Addo welcomed the news, saying Ghana needs that to improve on healthcare delivery. Mr. Adusoko Mahmoud Youssef from Egypt was next with his credentials. Until his appointment, he was a Deputy Assistant Minister of Foreign for International Treaties. He passionately appealed to President Akufo-Addo to team up to counter the threat of terrorism on the continent. The President was upbeat about strong bilateral relations with Cairo for mutual benefit. Equatorial Guinea's ambassador to Ghana is Mr. Mauricio Moro Opua Obama Bindang. Mr. Bindang has held other diplomatic portfolios for his country. Prior to his appointment to Ghana, he served as the Consul General of the Consulate of Equatorial Guinea in Dakar. He plans to strengthen relations on the oil front. Ghana's commercial commodity, the cocoa pod, was taken from Equatorial Guinea. President Akufo-Addo said that has been the foundation of the two countries. He expressed Ghana's appreciation to Equatorial Guinea for supporting Ghana's quest as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. Japanese ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Mochizuki Hisanobu, was the next to present his credentials. Mr. Hisanobu was the head of mission in Ghana from 2009 to 2012. He said Japan's government will continue to strengthen relations between Tokyo and Accra in the area of international peace, security, shared values, and rule of law. His focus will be to strengthen relations in health, infrastructure, agriculture, and human capital development. President Akufo-Addo said the Japanese model of development is an inspiration to Ghana, and that is the level Accra will work with Tokyo on to transform her economy. The ambassador of Hellenic Republic of Greece is Mr. Ioannis Plotas. He is ambassador to Nigeria with para accreditation to Ghana. President Akufo-Addo said the two countries will work to develop Ghana's natural resources for mutual benefit. Mr. Yanko Vasilev from Bulgaria was the last to present his formal document. He is a non-resident ambassador to Ghana. It's been 60 years of diplomatic relations between Accra and Sofia.
The Prime Minister of Denmark, Ms. Mette Frederiksen, will pay a 2-day official visit to Ghana from tomorrow, Wednesday, November 24 to Thursday, November 25, 2021. A statement from Denmark's embassy in Accra said her visit would mark the 60-year anniversary of diplomatic relations between Denmark and Ghana. The opposition leader from the Liberal Party of Denmark, Mr. Jacob Elmon Johnson, will join the delegation.
As part of a trip, Ms. Fredrickson will visit the frigate Esben Snare, which has been deployed to the Gulf of Guinea until April 2022. The Prime Minister will also meet with Danish companies, Ghanaian CSOs, and explore the extensive water cooperation between Denmark and Ghana. Speaking ahead of the visit, Ms. Fredrickson said she looks forward to exploring Danish contributions to the fight against piracy in the Gulf of Guinea.
Farmers in the northern region have raised concerns about the shortage of combined harvesters, which they say could lead to post-harvest losses. For the past 3 weeks, farmers in the two regions of the north are unable to harvest their crops due to lack of machines, and some have resorted to manual labor. Our northern regional correspondent Mutala Isa has visited some farms in Fu in the North Gonja district of the Savannah region and reports.
Alhaji Muhammad Wumbe can afford a smile today because his 20-acre rice farm is finally being harvested. When I met him 3 weeks ago, the situation was different. He was visiting a commercial farmer to seek the services of a combined harvester.
Delay harvesting is having a lot of impact on us. For example, you could see that the rice, a lot of them has fallen, and the combine does not pick all, especially those who have fallen. It doesn't pick them. When you look on the ground, you see that a lot has fallen. Secondly, you could see the birds hovering around here. When they drop on the field, before you come there, the rice that would drop on the ground is not small. But if we could harvest it earlier, it would have been better than now. But we started, like I said earlier, we started looking for the combine harvester almost a month now. Just that because we don't own the combine. And that is our challenge.
About a kilometer from Alhaji's farm, we meet Lansa Kwame Paul, who, tired of the waiting, has resorted to the age-old technique of using the sickle. But manually harvesting a 7-acre farm under the scorchy Savannah sun is a huge task.
Because we've been looking for it and we have not been getting, we have to go through the manual way. Consulting, maybe getting family members to help us to do it. Otherwise, the birds will take it to us. You can see the birds running around. So if we don't come and do it manually, still sitting down looking for a machine to come and do for us, we'll run at loss.
Across the northern Savannah and northeast region, farmers are struggling to harvest their produce, leading to fears of post-harvest losses.
The farmers in this region and the rest of the Savannah region are appealing to government to not allow this repeat itself in 2022. They are urging government to make available combined harvesters to enable farmers acquire these at a subsidized rate to make farming less difficult. From Fu in the North Gonja districts of the Savannah region, Mutala Isa for GBC News.
You're still watching News Hour live on GBC News, your news and governance channel. All over Ghana, vestiges of the past remain to be discovered, from relics to monuments, historical sites, and of course, forts and castles. Many of the forts along Ghana's coastal areas date back to the 14th century. They were built and occupied at different times by the Europeans, Portuguese, Swedish, Germans, Danes, and British to protect trading posts. Some forts changed hands on numerous occasions in bloody battles or by treaty, and all have a fascinating history. Many of these forts have been restored, while some are in ruins. One of such is Fort Vernon at Pram Pram in the Greater Accra region. We'll share some historical facts about Fort Vernon, which is Eric.
The scenery is akin to life on the ocean waves. The bright sky on a hot afternoon shines upon the deep blue sea, while these fishermen get ready to take an adventure away from land in search of a bumper catch. The cool breeze develops into a rising tide that lifts the canoes adrift for a fishing expedition. A few meters away from the shoreline is what looks like an abandoned building. Fort Vernon was a military structure designed to facilitate the slave trade. It was built by the Royal African Company out of cheap building materials like rough stones and swish, and in a great haste too. This was due to an advanced Ashanti army and in expectation of the outbreak of an English-Danish war in Europe and the corresponding military actions on the then Gold Coast. The days before 1783 destroyed the fort. The British rebuilt it in 1806, but by 1811, parts of the building collapsed due to years of abandonment. However, the British reoccupied it in 1831, but then again abandoned it in 1844.
Here was housing people. Then later, according to history, the ship comes all the way to the shore, take them, and then they drive them away. They use this way, and then there is another entrance over there. But because of the sea, that place has been washed. About 10 years ago, have been washed. So it have its own things that they couldn't maintain them. As you come here, you would have seen a lot of things. But the sea have already taken half of the building off. So what we are seeing now is just left with a small portion of it. So I think by a year or two, maybe you will come back and you will not even see anything again.
The fort has been in ruins since and deteriorating as the years go by. Restoration works were supposedly carried out in the 1970s, and the fort subsequently served as a rest house for a period of time. Peter Ejake, who is a youth activist in Pram Pram and a member of a group calling for the restoration of the fort, says this edifice is indelible in the nation's history and shares his thoughts on what could be done to keep its memory alive.
Things that we used to show on born generations, then we have to rebuild the fort here again. We can protect the fort if it's built. They've built houses on the sea and they have been protected up to today. So I don't see the reason why we have to relocate the whole thing again. The historic about the whole thing wouldn't be told very well. But if it's rebuilt at his current position, I think it's have a history to be told in the future. Now that is going on the media and then GTV have taken it over. Let's see if people will come on board so that we'll build here for the future unborn generations, for the history to be told about Pram Pram.
Taking a tour through the remnants of the fort, cracks and iron rods are dangerously exposed on the beams and pillars. As it was a trading post, there were rooms that served different purposes, some solely for recreation by the British, others as their bedrooms, and some that were built like dungeons for the slaves. The dungeons have exit doors closer to the sea, just like this one. Turkey and Ghana have begun discussions on ways to accelerate efforts and technological transfer to eliminate climate change and enhance business cooperation. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapo, and Turkey's Ambassador to Ghana, Ms. Ergun Ulisan, met in Accra ahead of the 12th Bosphorus Summit in Istanbul, Turkey. Clara Mlano has more.
Since its inception, the Bosphorus Summit has always selected one peculiar issue affecting the world and brought together experts, politicians and other people from academia across the world to find an effective solution to the issue. This time, the Bosphorus Summit, coming off in December, centers on protecting and preserving the environment. The summit will help Ghana woo investors for the business sector and for her reforestation agenda.
Whilst we're in Turkey, there's opportunity for us to engage the Turkish officials responsible for forestry. That would be very useful. I agree with you entirely that we should focus a lot more on the afforestation and reforestation schemes that we have and see how, to what extent, we can cross-fertilize each other. and learn from each other's countries.
The Turkish ambassador to Ghana, Ms. Egon Elusen, said Turkey is ready to support Ghana in her natural resource management.
We have very cordial relations with Ghana, and we are working to elevate it to higher levels and enhance it. Turkish investors are also looking opportunities to invest in Ghana. Turkish companies, Turkish constructors will be beneficial in terms of the implementation of development programs.
The conference is on the theme, Meeting the Challenges for a Better World. For GBC News, Clara Mlano reporting.
The running mate of the National Democratic Congress NDC in the 2020 elections, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has called on well-meaning Ghanaians to complement the efforts of government in mental health care. This was when she donated assorted items, including hospital equipment, to the Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital in the Central Region to mark her 70th birthday celebration.
Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman was accompanied by some party bigwigs, supporters and family members to the Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital, where she presented the items to mark her 70th birthday celebration. The 2020 vice presidential candidate of the NDC said the time has come for civil society groups and all well-meaning Ghanaians to contribute their quota to support mental health care delivery in the country. She says though government has the responsibility to equip such facilities, it cannot do it all alone.
They need a lot of sympathy, they need a lot of understanding, and I think that with all these attitudes, maybe we'll also be supporting the professional caregivers to be able to do the best that they can, so the patients don't feel abandoned.
The head of administration at the Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital, Mr. Thomas Chure, expressed gratitude for the gesture. Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman also paid a courtesy call on the Oguamahini Osaberi Makwesiata. The paramount chief asked for blessings upon her life.
Long life and prosperity. Amen.
Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman also presented some assorted items to the Kotokraba market women to crown her 70th birthday celebration.
Monitoring of students in Kintampo Senior High School in the Benue East region is a challenge for school authorities. This is because majority of the students are day students, a situation impeding the academic progression of students. Management is therefore appealing to the Ministry of Education to impress upon contractors working on projects in the school to speed up work on the girls' dormitory.
51 years ago, on October 15th, Kintampo Senior High School, Kins, started in a private house with an initial intake of 32 students, made up of 29 boys and 3 girls, with 3 male tutors. It was later absorbed into the public system and moved to its current location in November 1986. With a population close to 3,000, half of the students are day students. Kings is a mixed school and runs a double-track system which offers agricultural science, business, home science, general arts, science and visual arts. A number of development projects started a few years ago have stalled, affecting the smooth running of the school.
We are fortunate to have a new boys' dormitory, which is complete. So we don't have a problem with the boarding boys. But with the girls, the one that is under construction is about 70% complete. And so we still have a problem with the girls. So we can move out of the double track unless the girls' dormitory is complete.
Academically, Kings lacks both residential accommodation and classrooms.
There is nothing to show in terms of development. The few streets that we have, there's not even a single kilometer that is tarred. Some of the boarders even disguise themselves as day students and move to town. And so it's a big challenge. And so to solve this, we need more accommodation on campus.
Students are also concerned about the current state of affairs in the school.
We don't have assembly hall, and then dining hall, and then we are lacking of laboratories too. And then our road from the entrance to the dining hall is poor. Then we are lacking some of the teachers too. The classrooms, they've not finished building them, so we need a government to finish up the building for us.
With peace, love and prosperity as the school's motto, Kintampo Senior High School seeks to promote, nurture and develop quality education to improve on life in Kintampo, Bono East and by extension, the entire Ghana. Peggy Amadonko for GBC News.
Leaders of religious bodies in the country have pledged to fight against any form of religious intolerance, a factor considered one of the major security threats to nations. The pledge was made at a sensitization program organized by the Ministry of National Security.
The National Security Strategy document was launched in June this year by President Akufo-Addo. The document embodies a number of national priorities, one of which is to identify potential national security threats and deal with them. Following the launch about 5 months ago, the Minister for National Security, Mr. Albert Kandapar, introduced a program designed to sensitize stakeholders, including ministries, departments, agencies, and religious bodies to the relevance of the document. The sensitization program in Accra attracted heads and representatives of various religious bodies.
We have 100,000 children on the streets of Accra, 100,000, coming from broken homes. So we need to do something about this. And this is where the church comes in. The church comes in here, that we have 100,000 kids we should take care of. Look what's happening to them. Violence, robbery, all sorts of things.
If you watch all over the place where terrorist activism is pronounced, it's all being directed at Islamists against Christians, Islamists against Christians, and it's because of maybe something like lack of cohesion or intolerance. So if there will be peace within the country, we need to look at religion properly.
Emphasis was on the need not to take the country's relative peace for granted.
Various researchers have actually come to reveal that the terrorists out there are not what we think they are. Their aim is not those things that are communicated to us. Generally, the very first thing those terrorists are after is money. And if you look around, gold is what they keep talking about. And if you are talking about gold in West Africa, Ghana comes in #1 place.
A similar program had been held previously where the Ghana Bar Association and the Parliamentary Select Committee on Defence and Interior were taking through the 117-page National Security Strategic document.
Parliament has commenced debate on the 2022 budget statement and economic policy presented by the Finance Minister last week. The debate, which started today, Tuesday, November 23, 2021, is expected to end on Friday, November 26, 2021. The Minister for Finance on Wednesday presented the 2022 budget to Parliament, announcing various plans and programs on how the government intends to shore up revenue and to enhance job creation in the 2022 fiscal year. The budget statement, among other things, indicated that government intends to raise revenue through the imposition of a 1.75% levy on all electronic transactions. There is also a 15% increment in the cost of all government services effective next year. The Minister for Finance also announced the commencement of a 1 billion Ghana cedis Youth Start initiative to create jobs for the youth, while the Majority Caucus believes that the budget reflects the needs of Ghanaians and necessary measures relevant for stimulating growth in the economy. The Minority Caucus says the budget will lead to untold hardship on the already suffering masses.
We have more news coming up. Please stay.
which we were the first people to produce it in Ghana, and Azaglos, which is oil paint. We were the first people to produce the carpenter's glue. Now we have new products like silicone paint.
Join Azar Group celebrate 100 years and to create another brilliant 100 years together.
Going to Spain with your partners to enjoy a VIP La Liga experience,
including a stay at a plush hotel, boat cruises, city tours, and more.
Just buy any sachet of Gino, Pomo, or Gino Pepper and Onion, or Gino Max. Look for a code inside the sachet or tray. Dial the short code to *161* in a code hash and start accumulating points.
The more you point,
the bigger your win. Take it to Barcelona, Spain.
Flat screen TV sets,
PS5,
washing machine,
La Liga original jerseys,
footballs and caps,
smart mobile phones, and free call credits can also be won bi-weekly.
Accumulate more points
to win more prizes.
Spain promotion.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hisense Black Friday big sales na. Ya sign dia ba. Black Friday big sales. I call this pay. 2026 I 30th November. What is a Hisense year promo? Now you say we beto ne ma papa. Ne bo da for. E dey ben pa na ohwehwe. Television, refrigerator, and chest freezer, air conditioner, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, kettle, and iron. You want to Black Friday big sales. Madam Hisense, matete so mo say. Boaboaho, na kai say Hisense Black Friday big sales. Ekoswe showrooms ni na 26th to 30th November. Hisense and Kwana Mao 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Let us tell you the truth, it's not the magic that make a dream come true. It makes you achieve, but it's your hard work and your persistence. That's the way you will succeed. Dream the big goal, get up and do the road. Let us see you roll, but it's a long way to go. Whoa, Vitamin will help you walk the extra mile. If you don't have enough energy when you find yourself lost in. Let us be a friend.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I see a safer future. I see how every citizen
Import goods on the one side, saying that, oh, maintain the discount because it favors them. They pay less import duty. And then industries also on the one hand saying, no, raise them so that you don't have these cheap imports coming in that we cannot compete with. We think the e-levy is an innovative idea to scale up revenue mobilization. We feel that it seems to amount to subjecting people to, in some cases, paying double taxes or even triple tax. Government is introducing another level of revenue earmarking into the budget. Already we have several levels of revenue earmarking, which has contributed to so much rigidity in the budget. By seeking to avoid the e-levy, many people and businesses will revert to cash transactions with all its attendant risks.
Accounting and audit firm PricewaterhouseCoopers wants government to exempt tax-paying employees from the e-levy. The firm wants the levy to focus on the shadow economy, a group of people who earn income but do not pay tax. PwC suggests that the tax be paid by receivers of electronic transactions and not senders. Government is seeking to broaden the tax net to at least push up tax revenue to 16% of GDP.
The focus was an expansion in the tax net. An expansion in the tax net obviously could have various dimensions. So if you are in it, you're already in it, so we are expanding it further to cover you more. But then people are saying, hold on, if the expansion of the tax net is really what you're looking at, then why don't you give relief to those who are already in the tax net? The third proposal that we are looking at is that employees, for example, already in the tax band, the likelihood of an employee swerving payment of income tax will be difficult. Can we give, once again, on satisfaction of certain things, employees not to suffer this when the amounts are transferred into the account? Or,
unfortunately, through these decades of boom and bust, we have been left with a system where the state will look after your child, educate him, give him food, take care of primary health needs, and eventually also provide him with a job. Often, this will come without your child paying much back to the state, or you paying much back to the state by way of taxes. We cannot build forward better with a system where everyone takes and not many give back. That's why we need to reorient our structures and transition from the current model towards one where the state instead directs capital towards promoting the most innovative parts of the economy. And that has to be.
You're still watching News Hour live on GBC News, and this is the business segment. On the interbank markets, the cedi is trading at 5 cedis 91 pesos to the US dollar, to the pound sterling at 7 cedis 93 pesos, and the euro at 6 cedis 65 pesos. Coming up, other figures and also the prices of gold, cocoa and light crude from the commodity board. This segment was brought to you by MTN and Whirlpool. The energy segment comes up shortly. Please do stay.
Industry and Ghana Standards Authority presents the 10th AGI Ghana Industry Awards. Theme: repositioning local industry to leverage the Africa Continental Free Trade. Date: Saturday 27th November 2021. Time: 6 p.m. Venue: Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center. Major sponsors: GB Foods, Olam Ghana, Wilma Africa, Goyle, GCB Bank, B5 Plus, Nexans, Sarmatex, Mericom Solutions, Vector Pest Limited, and Activa Insurance. Co-sponsors: GTP, Aqua Safari, Nestle Ghana, Sleek Garments, Zoom Lion, Coca-Cola, Casapreco, Accra Brewery, Guinness Ghana, and media partner City FM. For tickets, call 0244-038-755 or 0204-787-887. Be part of this excitement.
Please, I've not killed anyone. I just do galamsey.
Your Honor, since the accused has been in the dock for a while, please permit me to serve him some water to drink.
You promised to give me water. This water is coming from the gutter. It will make me sick.
Your Honor, that is it. Due to the galamsey activities of the accused and his cohorts, they have polluted all our water bodies. See, this water is coming from our taps. They have destroyed all our forests, and above all, the activities are killing people.
Mr. Eja, you have been found guilty of indulging in galamsey. And since you don't want to mention the names of your bosses, you have been sentenced to 25 years in prison. This is my judgment.
Please, I will talk. Mr. Francis is bad. Mr. Mountain is bad. Mr. Usu, please, Your Honor, please.
Yenjai galamsey. Yenjai galamsey.
I'm Dominic Hoji. The bulk oil storage and transportation company BOST has received 5,400 12-inch pipelines procured since 2008 at $63 million. At an inspection of the pipes at the Tema port, the managing director of BOST, Mr. Edwin Provencal, said the pipes will ultimately lead to reduction in the costs of storage and transportation of fuel from Tema to Bolgatanga.
BOST, through the government of Ghana, secured an Exim Bank USA facility in 2008 to expand the capacity of the pipeline between Tema and Akosombo from 6 inches to 12 inches. The pipelines were, however, seized as a result of outstanding payments, which were resolved in 2018. The pipelines, since their seizure over a decade, had some incurring rust and had to be sandblasted at a cost of $8 million, after which they were shipped at a cost of $2.1 million. Inspecting the pipes at the Tema port, the managing director of BOST, Mr. Edwin Provencal, said the cost the country has incurred since the seizure of the pipes could have been prevented.
An investment of the $63.2 million in any instrument, yielding a rate of 9% per annum for these past 12 years, would have benefited us by the current value of $178 million US. The company looks forward to improving the proportion of product transfer from Tema to Bolga to serve the export market and the northern regions.
The board chairman of BOST, Mr. Eko Hackman, said salvaging the pipes by the company had come at a cost to the nation, but will help in increasing the efficiency level in BOST's operations.
At one stage, the company even faced the prospect of having the pipes auctioned due to unpaid liabilities. One may well ask, why the effort to salvage the pipes? Firstly, they were procured at great cost to the company and the nation, at over $60 million using a US Exim Bank loan. Secondly, they were part of a package of critical infrastructure to complete the infrastructure base of the company, which stretches from the Accra Plains Depot here in Tema through Akosombo, up to Buipe by barge, and through to Bolgatanga by pipeline.
The pipes will also lead the company to attain the target of meeting the increasing demand of the landlocked countries in the Sahelian region at a reduced cost.
Energy analyst Mr. Kojo Poku has called for a clear policy direction on the power purchase agreement PPAs for investors to adhere to. Speaking to GBC News, he said the renegotiation has taken eternity.
In the 2022 budget announced the continuation of the renegotiations and restructuring of power purchase agreement PPAs. This is to help deal with capacity charges and debt accruing as a result of some of the PPAs. Energy expert Mr. Kojo Poku says government must come up with a clear policy direction on the PPA for investors to know their fate.
When somebody starts talking about power plants, that same person 2 years ago came and said that he's converting all take or pay to take and pay. After 3 years down the line, we've not seen any framework or any document or policy in that conversion that the minister came to Parliament and said that he's converting. Investors around the country don't know what is the way forward. If we are to build power plants in this country, they need what you call a power purchase agreement. The power purchase agreement has either a guarantee or no guarantee. That is the take or pay and take and pay. Now, the minister, for the last 3 years, has not concluded that negotiation. So the new investor that he talks of, that new investor is coming in to do what? Is the investor coming in to do take and pay or take or pay? Is government going to give that person a guarantee for its investment, or government?
You can be anything. Who will you become? When you can go anywhere
Welcome to the health segment brought to you by Lufat from Tobinco. Emergency health care is expected to improve at Bandai in the northern region. This follows the formal opening of the 200,000 Ghana cedi emergency care unit for the ECG hospital at Bandai.
The Evangelical Church of Ghana ECG Hospital at Bandai began as a clinic in the early 1960s by the church. It was upgraded into a hospital in 2013. The facility serves clients from Bandai and its environs. On a daily basis, it sees between 60 and 70 patients with cases of malaria and typhoid. The Bandai ECG is a health insurance facility, but regrettably, the district has no national health insurance office, which residents and health workers say is affecting healthcare delivery. The 5-bed emergency care unit was inaugurated by the General Overseer of the Evangelical Church of Ghana, Reverend Maxwell Wango. The medical superintendent, Dr. Joseph Sonla, appealed for a separate national health insurance office and a scheme manager for the hospital to improve upon healthcare delivery at the facility.
All my cry for people to come to the aid of ECG hospital yielded no response. But when COVID-19 came, many people turned their face towards the ECG hospital, including the Ghana government, through the regional medical stores. And we received a lot of things. And so the small generations we're making, at least, were able to use it reasonably. And at the time, we could not even pay our hospital workers. Now we were able to pay.
A sword was also cut to start constructing a mortuary.
The segment of the news was brought to you by Lufat from Tobinco. The international segment is next.